everybody, it's Marianne from Thrive Admin, and today I'm sharing 3 of the question types that you can create using Microsoft Forms. So when you're working in Forms, there are loads of different question types that you can use, but today I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into the choice, rating, and text questions so you can understand how to best use them when you're trying to get your respondents or participants to give you really useful information in your forms. So let's jump in. Okay, so the first type of question that we're going to have a look at is the choice question. And this is where we can give our participants the chance to provide feedback based on a list of options that we provide. Now, this means that you can guide the response that your participant provides, and you're not giving them as much free range to give you anything that may or may not be relevant for you, okay? So when we select our new question, we choose the type we choose is choice. And then what happens is you would type in your question here. So it would be, how did you find out about me? How did you find the session? Where have you worked with me before? Are you aware of any of my other programs, etc., etc. And then there'll be 3 options lined up, and they'll say option 1, 2, and 3, and you overwrite those with what you would like as your response. So here you can see I've put yes and no. This one I've put like the picture below, because if you click this little button here, it will allow you to put an image in. Now this can be really handy if you're looking at things like maps, or you've got some sort of graphical representation that will help them understand what the response option means. So it's a way to supplement the information you're providing. So you can add up to 10 of these, and they can all be different, but this format will allow them to choose one only. Now, what you can do is use the other option tool here, and what that does is it will add another radio button at the bottom that says other, and then they can type in their answer. So they can add some customized responses, but not go completely off on a tangent. And it may be a great way for you to get some information that you may not otherwise get in this particular form. The other thing that you can do is you can toggle on. So as I said, this allows them to choose one option in the radio buttons, but we can move it to a multiple answer format. And what that does is it converts your radio buttons into checklists or check boxes, and the participants can tick as many of those as they like. And again, you can still have an other as well. So it might be, for example, a good one I use is, which of these Microsoft programs were you aware of? And I list all of the common ones. But if there's one that I've missed that they use all the time, they can pop it in as an other as well. So the next type of question we're going to look at is the rating option. And this is where we're asking the participant to rate their experience or their opinion of a particular statement you make. So you can ask people about how likely they are to recommend you, how much they enjoyed the session, how clean their hotel room was, all those sorts of things. How did they find the catering? Did everything meet their needs? All those sorts of questions. And we can do that in a few different ways. So this one is one that I have in an existing form that goes live. And we've got here, how likely are you to use it? And I ask them to rate it from 0 to 10. 10 is the largest span that you can have for a rating. And I've got some labels on this as well, so that they know that 0 is bad and 10 is good. Now, to create a new one, I've started here. So we've got a question and we've chosen rating. And I've typed in, how many light bulb moments did you have today in this session? Then what we've got is, I've chosen to make this a 5. You can see it goes up to 10, but I've chosen for this to be an option out of 5. And these are the different symbols that you can choose. You can have stars and numbers and hearts and trophies and all sorts of things, but I've chosen light bulbs, and that's why I've made the question what I have. Now, if I don't want the labels, I can just, on the 3 dots there, I can take those off, and the question will just look like, how many light bulb moments did you have? And they're choosing it. But if I go back to my labels, I can type in anything I like here. And then when we preview the form, down here, you can see this is my 1 to 10, and it's letting me choose one of these. And then here, 0, this one is not as many as I was hoping, and this one is, it's really bright in here. And it will fill them in, whether that's hearts, stars, light bulbs, it will fill them in the color code that you've chosen for your form. Now, the most common type of question that you'll see when you fill in a form anywhere will be a text box. And that's a chance for you to open it up and allow your participants to provide you with open-ended feedback based on whatever they would like to share under that question. Now, these are useful for things where you can't provide a drop-down, but there are a couple of things I want you to keep in mind. Firstly, you've got a couple of options when you choose a text. It can be a long answer or a short answer. The default will be a short one. If you choose a long answer, it will make the box slightly bigger and it allows them to put more in. Think about whether your question needs a long answer or a short answer, because the more space you give someone to fill in, the more they will fill. Or if it's not required and someone skips it, you may miss out on some really useful information. The other thing that you can do in a text question is that you can pop some restrictions on it. So this is great for a quiz, but also if you're asking people something that's a number-based response, you want them to provide you with a number response. So the restrictions are that it's a number, that it's greater than, so you have to enter a number greater than something, or you might say, what percentage of your experience do you think fits in this category, or how much of your time is this? Okay, so we can have it equal to, we can have it between. If you had to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in using Microsoft Forms, what would you choose? Okay, so rather than using a ranking question or a rating question, you could do it this way. But again, be really careful about how you phrase these and how they work so that people are able to understand what you want and the information they put into the text box is what you actually need. So there you go. Now you understand the purpose and the function behind each of those question types, the choice, the rating, and the text, so that you can choose the correct one for your form, for your audience, and for the data that you want to receive in the background and be able to analyze afterwards. If you have any questions about working with Microsoft Forms, then you can pop a question on this video or a comment below, or you can check out the resources I've included in the video description. If you are interested in finding out more about working with forms or any of the programs inside your Microsoft 365 subscription, then please follow. You can follow me here on YouTube, but you'll also find me hanging out on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok under Thrive Admin Services. Cheers.